I'll post everything that was mentioned here. It's
The king, let the court begin.
You might have jumped the gun there, maybe 30 seconds too early, but thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I'm so sorry, Your Grace. I'm so sorry.
Sound muted.
Shall I shout Your Holiness, Your Grace, and announce the court when for the beginning, my lord, or shall you do that yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm glad you could make it here today. This is our first gathering of the nobles. I would have a normal seating order, but as these things go, unfortunately, it's been a little bit more disorganized than we would have hoped. So, this hodgepodge of leaders of men will have to do with no seating arrangement. We will get started today with old business. Yes, some of you are new here, some of you are faces I do not know. So we will pretend that you know nothing of what has happened or transpired these last 2 weeks. I start with the original treaty with the doctors. We had spoken with Dr. Hope to not heal anyone for 2 weeks. That treaty has since passed, and it was held up by the doctor. So please, thank you, doctors, for holding up your end of the treaty. You are honorable indeed. Second treaty, Cabanino was declared a no-go quarantine zone. Those of you here may have noticed Cabanino has turned men, good men, insane. Therefore, we figured it was probably something in Cabanino's air, water, or soil. We have contracted with the Nigerians, the mercenaries, and the House Renegade to help keep the town, how I say, empty, so no more insanity can be inflicted amongst the population. House Renegade, please step forward. Give the court a status report from your men's work in Cabanino this week. Make it brief. Cat has your tongue, Sir Striker.
Sound resumed. Sound muted.
Okay, is Cabanino clear?
Yes.
Good. Well, we always figured if we made a decree not to go there, it would attract more and more people. We will, how I say, maybe increase our tactics of having more carrots at Green Mountain. We had a concert and a fist fight last night, and it went more or less successfully. Is there a noble amongst you who would like to host the next tournament up at Green Mountain at the end of next week? Anyone? Come on, there's got to be at least one go-getter amongst you, or I have to do everything. I see.
Oh my lord, they are an enthusiastic lot, aren't they?
Oh, I see. Fine, the kingdom will hold another tournament. Gee.
You
I suppose
bunch of
introductions
lazy
are...
bastards. Allowing our benevolent king to do all the work. Shame on you
Please
all.
stand and introduce yourself, yeah? Noble whom of what house?
Of course, King Joffrey. My name is Dr. West, noble of House Life, I suppose.
House Life. You gentlemen here, whom do you
Hey,
represent?
wake up.
Sup?
House Sop.
Hi. I'm Sir. I'm Sir Galen Merrick of House Peaches.
This is Sir Galen Merrick of House Sop.
Hey, wake up.
You, who are you?
Hey, wake up.
I'm with the final collect order. Cover
Hey, wake up.
the final. I'm just
Order.
the guard, though.
Final order. Excellent.
Joey, what do you fucking do?
Who are you?
Sorry. Me.
Yes. Who do you represent?
The clown.
The House Clowns. Good. You. Who are you, gentlemen?
Where the worm is.
Oh. Mr. UN? We,
Yeah, this one's a little stuttery.
I don't know
Yeah,
what happened.
so, sorry to interrupt you, but you are, you're the roamers. House roamers. Excellent,
Right.
thank you. And I know you're House Renegade. Welcome, thank you.
Yes.
Yellow armbands. Who are you?
Yeah.
We
I'm a
represent South
These
Segura Trading Company.
Yes, the traders. Good. And of course we have security. Alright. Now that you nobles are, how I say, acquainted with one another, we will get this started. First of all, we have a land grab issue between the House Sop and House Brave. Both houses wish to, how I say, grab Lopatino for their own purse. And obviously we cannot grant territory to two opposing factions at the same place. You will therefore be called to war. You will be given one battle in the town of Lopatino, should you wish to fight for it, or you can surrender here this day. The outcome of the battle determines who owns Lopatino. Does House Sop understand?
Yeah. We understand.
Good. House Brave will be here shortly. They are, of course, fashionably late, as they do.
No respect.
Here we are. So the Treaty of Cabanino will continue. We wish to everyone's support in keeping the town clear. However, if you do not see eye to eye with our treaty, we will not, of course, force you to assist. Now, on to the next business. Everyone here comes from different places. We all hang out at our own perspective lands, our own perspective, how you say, territory. Our cartographers are busily writing a map to detail everyone's location within the kingdom. So, if you could, send a courier to Novi with a location of where you would like us to draw you on our map. If we see any discrepancies, we'll let it be known to the opposing parties, and you will have to fight for who wants that town, or you'll simply have to move and surrender it. We will have the map up as soon as you give us the locations you want, if you want them. Some of you are nomadic, and we understand you do not wish your position to be known. That's your issue to deal with and not mine. Second point. We are all different, yeah? We all don't see eye to eye on everything.
I'm fine,
Therefore,
man. I'm fine. Are you?
Oh, okay. Anyway, as I was saying, because we all have differences of opinions, differences of what we find valuable and what we find not valuable, it is, how I say, important.
Why do you ask me to leave?
For, how I say, unity when it comes to trade. Yes, I think everyone can agree bullets, guns, food are important. Yeah, they are good things to barter for if you are in the trade of slaves, if you are in the trade of other guns.
I was invited by
things...
someone inside, yeah.
Give us a moment.
But I can hear it from here, though, what they say.
Grisha, let him in. Please.
Alrighty.
Jesus. You had to choose a fucking great day for this.
Nigerians have come
Evening.
fashionably late. But
House Nigeria joins us. House Brave.
Nigeria. Such a pleasure.
Asia will be here soon. Where do you wish us to stand?
We'll find an open spot.
Okay, we will be over here.
We will reiterate once more that House Brave and House Sop are fighting for Lapatino. Unless House Brave or House Sop wishes to give up Lopatino to one or another at this time, we suggest a battle be fought for its territorial claim. What say you, House Brave?
We're keeping Lapatino.
No, you're not.
House Sop, do you wish to contest his claim on Lapatino?
Yeah.
Well, we have a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, more or less. Well, as I said, you two will have to duke it out, yeah? Do you accept the terms of whoever loses the battle will be forced out of the town and made to settle somewhere else?
I accept those terms.
House Sop, do you accept those terms?
I accept the term.
Good. The battle will be equal. I don't care if you have more men than each other. You will decide how many you wish, 5 versus 5, 10 versus 10. There will be no two-sided battles here. Only honorable battles, yes?
Of course.
Good. As I was saying before the latecomers came, we have different opinions of what things are worth. And I think it is time that we create a bartering system that is universal to those who would like to participate within this civilizational move. Therefore, it is the kingdom's wish that a universal currency be established. And we have found one of the best currencies we think you can find out here in South Zagor. There was a large warehouse in Chernigor, filled with boxes and boxes of, how you say, this brand of canned beans. Yeah, B-E-A-N-Z is the brand. Highly nutritious. Tons of protein will keep a man going, one can for at least a week. Nothing is more valuable than food in life. So, we have left boxes of these beans for each noble to garner and use as their currency for trade. We would appreciate if you would use them in your legal tender for barter. We currently are using it to trade with our mercenaries. They accept beans as payment, and we welcome this sort of, how you say, return to the golden standard. Beans. Do I hear any dissenters?
So wait, you're telling me you want us to work for beans?
Yes. You don't have to, but that's going to be a legal tender, like an
So
actual.
what? Am I gonna be able to just like cough up a can of beans to somebody and they give me a gun if I want to trade? Is that how this is
No.
going to work out or something?
Essentially, yes. The gun might be worth 3 beats to someone. They might be worth 4. You don't obviously have to
Beans it
go
is.
with this barter system, but the kingdom will be using it. Yeah? You may find it stupid.
If we,
I don't find food
I have a-
stupid.
I have a question, if I may ask.
What?
So, okay, say it were to be the currency, when will we discuss, what something is worth?
No, that's up to you, you know? A high-powered rifle might be worth 5 beats to you, and 1 bullet might be worth 1. Or, you know, I don't care what your specific trading values are. I just want us to use, nutrition as a means of,
Depends on how
barter.
hungry I am.
So, if anyone else has an idea on what to use as a standard legal currency, I'd like to hear it, but my financial advisors have told me this is the best choice.
I mean, a lot of people nowadays like to trade for ammunition, right? I mean, ammo's always in a commodity that you can use.
I agree.
Yeah.
Or
True,
I agree
but there's so many
with
different types of ammo,
that.
you know?
too.
Like 9mm is a different type of ammo than 308. Therefore, it might have a different value, whereas a can of beans is the same value every time.
it can be
Well,
judged as like the dollar.
Just consider the most valuable ones as you value.
I see. Well, anyway, next order of business. Since Cabanino has now been declared a quarantine zone, actually, I think I will leave it to the nobles to bring up the next order of business. Does anyone have a treaty to put up? Yes, House Life, please take the floor.
Actually, it was only a mere question about one of your earlier points, King Joffrey. You mentioned carving out zones for the various nobles. What should happen if, let's say, one of our nobles should overstep their bounds and decide to ignore such territory? What would be the consequences of this?
Well, you're going to have war with someone who is claiming it, you know? That's kind of how it works. If anyone is to, how I say, take land from you who is outside the kingdom's men will defend your land claim. However, if it's an inner dispute between brothers of the kingdom, that is your own contest to win, yeah? Good.
Understood.
Any other treaties, proposals before I continue from any of the houses? Yeah, going once.
Not much of a proposal. Mostly, I want to talk about something.
Yes, please take the floor. Your voice is clear and we can all hear you.
Okay, so one of our barrels of weapons was broken into by some sort of trading organization. And we feel deeply offended and disrespected by this. We seek compensation from this group. They left us a note.
Do you know the name of the trading organization?
South Sagorian something or other. I believe the man was named Jack Warren. He graciously signed his piece of paper with his signature.
South Zagoria House.
The note?
No, I do not have the note any longer.
What do you say to these claims, House Trading?
They're false. Mr. Warren wouldn't steal from a house that he is allied with. We don't need to steal from people. We aren't thieves.
Well, this is the thing. We reached out to him over the radio, and he agreed that he would compensate for the mistake. So are you saying that he did not say this?
As far as I'm aware, he didn't steal from you.
What? So, you are calling me a liar? Is this what you are saying?
He is
All right.
not.
I didn't call you a liar. Mr. Warren and your superiors are good friends, as far as I'm concerned. I see no reason why he would steal from you.
Well, I believe he was not aware that it was our barrel, but once we brought it to his attention, he claimed this was a mistake and he would compensate.
If that's the case, then you'd have to take it up with him, but unfortunately he isn't here right now.
Fair enough.
It appears
guess that
the nobles for South Zagoria Trading do not know of this particular transaction. We will write it down as unsolved and make sure the next particular meeting that it has been solved by then, or we will declare war, brother.
Yes, this sounds agreeable to me.
Does this sound agreeable to South Zagoria Trading Company?
I mean, we see no reason for war. If Mr. Warren has already promised compensation, then that should be the end of it.
Good, then we will clear it up. Excellent. Any further treaties to be dropped from any other house before we continue? This next one's a little edgy, one could say.
Can I say something?
Yes, your voice is not ringing out true, though. Please stand forward and use your
Trading company head of security. If we find out that he actually didn't if we learn that this was a lie by the Nigerians, we will not forget.
Yeah, like we say, it was a...
I caught him not going to think us. Lie do is not. Shit.
I mean, I don't know of any barrels that we needed to take anything from since we're a trading company anyway. We generally stay in Lexington. Why would we need to rob somebody's barrel?
Well, I do not appreciate being called a liar, but I promise that a note was left behind with the signature of this man, saying that he appreciates our contribution to his trading company, and when we brought it to his attention, he seemed to think it was a mistake to steal from us.
Well, maybe it was. I guess we'll find out. But like I said, if it is a lie, we won't forget.
This is fair enough, but I would not lie.
Excellent. Well, like I said, we will get this resolved, I am sure. Any other houses? House Clown, you've been remarkably silent. Would you like to appear before the court and explain your past activities this week for your area? Don't be shy. No.
Talk. Can you?
I propose cartoon morning Mondays once we have satellite back. Whole bunch of them. Also, all infected are to be wearing mandatory party hats. Shot down last time.
All right. Okay, the treaty before the kingdom is that if you find an infected and you're able to properly subdue it, you are to put up a special hat.
Meet up with Alex and the
A special hat on it. Is that right, House Clown?
Right.
Or
Yeah,
mask?
it's party hats, Your Honor.
I
Like those
see.
triangle hats with the goofy colors on it. Party hats.
I see.
Fred,
there,
Love it.
is there any house who will take up this charge with the clowns? Please raise your hand if you are willing to spare lives to make, party hats on clowns. Or, okay.
It appears it is a resounding no.
All right, house clown,
I like it.
you will be on your own for that particular tree. Yes?
Aye, sir.
Yeah. The kingdom would like to state a few points. We would be most appreciative if anyone finds anyone wearing a great helm from the ages of old. And if you find them, we ask you to have them remove the helmet. We in the kingdom see that helmet as a piece that only knights should wear. And knights are specific men who have killed in the name of the kingdom and have been recognized for their slaughter. Should you find anyone with one of these hats, ask them their surname, and if they do not give you one, we would take it as a kindness if you would slaughter them for us. Or, I don't know, beat them, whatever your organization does with undesirables. Yeah. Secondly, we would like to take this time to announce to the court that we do not appreciate anyone else calling themselves king or monarchy. Should we find another monarchy being made, we will consider it as an act of war, and we'll do everything we can to squash the new monarchy. We, of course, do not care if you have your own political things you start, say you want to start the potato movement. We won't stop your potato movement, but if you specifically call yourselves royalty or a monarchy, we will attack you. Fair warning. House Nigeria, please.
We get prize or reward if we bring you one of these straight nice head.
Yes. The kingdom will be willing to pay 10 beans for every man brought to us.
Yes, this is agreeable with us.
Thank you. That is the bounty set. Anyone found wearing a great helm is 10 beans from the kingdom for your time. If you accept that as barter. Otherwise, don't go for them. That's all I need. Final call to the rest of the nobles gathered here. Do you have a treaty to propose, a war to declare, before we move on to the next subject? Yes, House Clown.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Thank you. So, I'm wondering, since we're all here friendly-like for now, I think a similar thing with the knights could be done with the clown masks. If people could bring them to us, confirming that they're not one of us, any imposters would be greatly rewarded in the same way that an imposter knight would be. It's a pretty bad deal when clown imposters are around. They give us a bad name, a bad name than we already, have, but a worse name, yeah. So, if that's available as a thing, I would greatly appreciate it.
What bounty do you set? What is the reward for giving you a clown masked man?
Todd, beans?
Yes, how many?
Same.
10 beans, yeah?
Like 10 beans and a high five.
10 beans.
Excellent.
And a high five and a cool bandana as well, if you're lucky.
Good. But any other declarations?
Just so I'm clear, do you require simply a mask, or do you require the man?
Oh no, I want him alive, so I could deal with him myself, or one of my good friends here, preferably. Drag him before us, and we will pay you all the beans.
How should we
King Joffrey.
Yes.
King Joffrey.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Neil Waters. I'm a ranger for the Spartan Order, and I have a proposal. I cannot address the proposal right now in front of all these people, but I can tell you that I have an offer for you.
I see. Well, perhaps leave the offers of secret dispute to yourself until the court is adjourned. The court is far from secret. You there, you had your hand raised.
Hi, here.
Did you have something to say?
Well, there's two things really. The first thing would be how it was renegade, and the people that's been assigned to keep Cabernet clear, and the group that might be caught inside or not cleared to be in charge of clearing the town will be looked upon as hostile.
What's the question, sir? Could someone translate what he just said? I caught the end of it, but I didn't catch the beginning. Shit. Everyone not assigned to clear Cabernet will be looked upon as a hostile from our end. Yes, I think that's fair. Good. Thank you for your support in that treaty. That treaty is still ongoing. When the town is finally a ghost town, we will withdraw the quarantine on Cab and no longer bar people from there. The only exceptions to Cabanino are, aside from the people assigned to keep Cabanino clear, are those residents who live there. Like the clowns, I believe they live in Cabanino. So if you're a resident of Cab, you won't be cleared. It's all these degenerates that walk in and out of it. Those will be the ones cleared. All right, final call to all the nobles. Any wars to declare, treaties to propose before we continue? House Clown. Yeah.
Right. I got like two things. Firstly, can we go into Cab? I don't like being restricted.
I just said you were fine there. You were residents of the town.
Sorry, I ignore half of what people say, so it usually goes like in one ear and out the other.
But yes. Long story short, if you are residents there, you are obviously cleared to live there. It's the non-residents we care about.
All right, second proposal. Place all weapons with confetti cannons and rubber chickens.
It's probably not going to happen. I mean, you guys can replace your weapons with confetti, but please step forward and address the court.
Hello. Hi. Well, I was just wondering, King, if I could stay in Cabanino due to the hobos were residents there long before all of this royal decree.
If you can prove residency to those who wish to attack you, yes, you may stay. Good.
Thank you. That's all. I also heard nobody else shall be king. That I will take the royal title of Royal Hobo instead of King Hobo. Is that okay, King?
Can you call yourself the Hobo Lord?
Yeah, that's fine. I like that better anyway.
Excellent. I shall refer to you as a Hobo Lord then from now on. Thank you. Anything else? Yes, please stand and address the court.
Well, it's more some concerns about Green Mountain.
Yeah.
So first off, I'd ask, has anyone even put claim on it?
No, currently not. Green Mountain is open for grabs.
As one of the representatives from House Renegade, I'd like to put claim on.
House Renegade has put a claim on Devil's Castle. Do you refute your previous claim of Devil's Castle in exchange
I
for
don't
Green
know.
Mountain?
Is more of concern in regards of we have few people who look upon as Green Mountain as how do you say old or secondary.
Oh, I see. You want 2 parcels of land, yeah?
I did.
Oh.
He is greedy, my grace.
Yeah.
Very grasping.
Quick question.
Well,
Isn't Green Mountain right next to the Zabor's base?
well, maybe.
Yes.
The Zabor are, how I say, another organization outside the kingdom. We are not really recognizing the Zabor at this time as they have declined to show up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying it as it's their land. I'm saying it as it could be a dangerous spot to put in.
The
Its
kingdom
I made my
will
way
fight.
around.
Like I said, the kingdom will fight for your land claims should someone outside the kingdom struggle with you. Well, we'll have to put a hold on you trying to claim 2 parcels of land. I'll give it a week and a half. If no one else claims Green Mountain, we will give it to you by default. However, we will inform you if someone wishes to claim it, and you'll have to fight for it if you want it to be your second parcel. Is that agreeable, House Renegade? Good.
I do believe it is.
Excellent. Any other treaties, wars to be discussed by the lords?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it against the rules of the kingdom to claim 2 parcels of land?
No, it is not against the rules of the kingdom to claim 2 parcels of land. However, this is our first addressing of the court. I feel it would be greedy and egregious to claim more than 1 on the first day, you know? Maybe at the next court, we can start assembling, how I say, 2 parcels of land, but I don't even have the first map made yet for the single grabs. So for my cartographer's sake, I would appreciate only single land grabs until perhaps maybe the next session. Yes?
Okay.
One final minor thing from the kingdom. War has been declared from a place of people called the Brotherhood or the Guardian. The kingdom is willing to pay 2 beans for every man from the Guardian killed. If you can prove that you have slaughtered a man from the Guardian, we will gladly pay. Is there anyone who would like to take up this bounty that we can look forward to working with us as brothers against the Brotherhood? Good. Good. We appreciate your support, and we'll triangulate with you and our spies of their locations. We'll be happy to pay you for your work as brothers.
King Joffrey.
Yeah.
Whatever bring you men of these renegades, not renegades, but whatever you call them, whatever bring them to you alive.
I don't want them alive. I want them dead. No
I didn't know
difference
if you
in
wanted to have
payment.
fun with them or...
No,
Okay.
we're not in the mood for wasting our time torturing. That's the clown's job, you know? Anyway, final call for any treaties, war declarations, and then we are moving forward with what I feel might be the most important treaty here today. No offense to any lords talking about party hats. Going once, going twice. Oh yes, House Nigeria, please.
Yes, I just want quite some time. Anybody who gives information on this his whereabouts will be handsomely rewarded.
How many beans is it worth? What is the bounty?
We will happily give up 8 cans of beans for either him return to us or information on where he might be.
Good. Bounty for Wombole, is that right? I can't say it.
Yes, yes, Wombole.
Well, Wombole. 8 cans of beans for information on him. That's a lot of beans.
Do you know what he was wearing?
Yeah, give us some
Yes,
basic
he wears
information.
a red beret like us, and he wears the reading glasses, you know.
All right, I'll try to get him. I travel a lot with my crew. With the Spartans, you know, we travel a lot. We meet a lot of people. I'll try to find him for you.
Good.
We will
It'll be a race then. Who has the better spy networks?
We will
Yes, yes.
ask anyone who comes through the trade post if they have seen or heard anywhere about Wombole.
Excellent.
Yes,
So-
this is much appreciated.
Assuming there are no further treaties to be discussed, the reason I have asked you all to be here today. Oh, okay, someone outside. Right. Well, you have all been very successful at handling Cabinino. It has been effectively shut down as best as we can. Let me make sure outside shuts up. This is rather important. Can we keep the noise to a minimum outside, please, if possible? Sorry to be an ass, but we're all in an enclosed area here. Anyway, the kingdom likes to, I guess we're all here for civilization purposes, you know? And, we're all here in our own way to make this place more agreeable, more livable to our own terms. That is why we are gathered here in a diplomatic forum to talk about such things. So, with Cabinino being our first large treaty being enacted, I am here to declare that the second decree that we would like to see from our allies and brothers. We have all noticed it. Everyone has noticed it. Look amongst you right now. There are more men here than women by a factor of 3. Yes? Our wars with each other are killing men. Lots of them. Lots and lots of men are dying to infected and each other. This is the way it's going to be in the foreseeable future. I do not see any treaty passing that will say, do not kill another man. That will not stay. And therefore, it is not a treaty I can propose to you logically that any of you would follow. However, if we are to continue to have a society, we need men. And the only way we get more men is through women. So, here we are, a massive society of men with not a whole lot of women. And yet we need birth rates to go up. Essentially, we need each woman to have birth 3 times to cover a population increase. 1 for the woman, 1 for the man, and 1 extra to increase the population for those slaughtered in our wars. I have been walking around a long time in Chernarus. So have all of you. And I dare say not very many of you have seen a pregnant woman. Yes, most of them are not seated. So, unfortunately, it comes to our responsibility to make sure that every woman has a husband. Yes? And if the women are not going to be, how I say, voluntarily wed to their chosen partner, it is for the greater good of society to therefore forcibly wed that woman to a, how I say, a willing man. Now, we aren't going to be enforcing this, how I say, forced marriage for another 4 days. We will proclaim across the land that all women are to find a partner. You are to, how I say, consummate your marriage by marking on each other's arms that you are married. I don't care how you do it, as long as we see a mark that she is married, we will leave that woman alone. We also ask that, well, you need to get baby making, and soon. Each woman needs to have 3 kids, you know? And unfortunately, 9 months gestation period means you don't have a whole lot of time to keep this working. So,
You're great.
let me
great.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
Let
you're great.
me
Sorry, you're great.
We will take questions after I'm done explaining.
Yes, you're great.
So, essentially, we give 5 days for women to find their man, yeah? And then after that, it's our jobs to make sure our population stays increasing. Or we're all going to die, aren't we? Because men don't make babies. This is a problem you all know about, and this is the only solution I see to solve it. Questions, comments, or concerns on this treaty? Raise your hand and we will call you forward. South Zagoria.
I believe that South Zagoria Trading Company could assist in this measure. One of our sections directly assists in finding potential mates, and if anyone needs to speak with us, please refer to our radio channel at 100.8.
Excellent. Thank you for your support, South Zagoria Trading Company. House Brave, please address the court.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Are you serious about this? Like, I mean, look, it's logical where you're coming from. You know, there's a lot of people dying out there, and there's not gonna be that many people left unless we give birth. But you're telling me you want to force every single woman to be with somebody whether they want to or not. That's not humane. If we're trying to build a civilization, don't we want to build it back to how we should? How we feel is right? I mean, look, we're just here to get paid, but I'm just speaking my heart. You know, I'm speaking my mind here. This is...
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you for your concerns, Brave. Let's hear from other houses. Jester, you have your hand raised. Please address the court.
Yes, Your Grace. I'm not going to say which group it was, but there was an incident about a few weeks back I caught wind of, where a person got injured and caused loss of child. Now, whoever it is, you know who you are, and don't do it again. And yes, because the king has decreed we need children for his kingdom.
House Life, please address.
Far be it from me to shake up the social norms, but with such a decree would come certain other implications. You see, up until now, the man, in a sense of speaking, owned the woman, but in this situation it would seem illogical to lock the woman into a relationship with a single man. If something were to happen or he were unable to reproduce, then it would be far more efficient if the woman were to choose whatever mate she desired at the time of her, well, peak reproductive.
Are you suggesting that we hold off on women getting busy repopulating our country?
I am more suggesting that we allow some power for the woman to choose. You see, we are no more than mere instruments for them to reproduce, whereas it's very important that they are able to reproduce as quickly as possible when they are able. Locking them into a situation with a single individual man, we all know that we are flawed, of course, and we may not be the most efficient for her at that time.
I understand your point, but we have given these women a chance already to do it on their own, and we have seen no results. I dare anyone to tell me of a majority of the women they've seen are pregnant, and I will call that man a liar. But point taken, Doctor. Yes, address the court.
Is there an answer to the anomaly as to why there are little to no women around?
No, we do not know. That's why this is such a concern for our population size. Too many men, not enough women. We need children. Let's go along here. We'll start with you on the green jacket. Yeah? Step forward.
Yeah. So, considering we are talking about forced marriage, does this mean also that marriage of members of the same sex is also going to be outlawed? Because I think it's arguable that there are a lot of bitches here in the courtroom.
I do not believe marriage of the same sex hinders in any way the repopulation of South Zagoria. There are more than enough men to be heterosexual than homosexual to meet the gap. I do not believe that will disrupt any repopulation concerns. However, we'll keep an eye on it, you know.
Okay.
Man in black, address the court. Okay, you want to address what if they don't like men, and two, do you really plan on getting kids pregnant? Well, I do believe the proclamation was women, yeah? The kingdom recognizes 16 and above as women. Anyone below 16, no, I don't think we'll be marrying off children. That's probably a little awkward, and they probably still need time with their parents. If the women do not like men, well, they will have to see to the need of, how I say, the needs of many over the needs of the few. Unfortunately, if she is still able to produce children, she will be required to do so. She will not have to be married, so to speak, with her life partner, but she will have to bear children if she has the ability to do so. Otherwise, we're going to lose some population here, you know? This is the only way to fix it. Yes. Hobo Lord, please address the kingdom.
I have to agree with the king on this one. As anybody that I think there should be leniency on who they choose, but they need to, be with somebody. As the king said, the population is getting quite low. That is all.
So, anyone against this treaty? We will not use this as a declaration of war. This is only garnering opinion. Please raise your hand if you are nay to the proposed opinion of having more children. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see. 6.
Turn around, I think you missed one.
I believe we have 6 dissents. I want to hear your opinions, starting with Cowboy. Explain to the court why having more children is not of the paramount most importance to our civilization.
I'm not saying that having more children is a bad thing, Joffrey. A lot of people know I want to have kids again eventually. But the fact of the matter is, what I don't agree with is forcing people to be with people they don't want to be with. You know, some people are just better off alone in this world. Some people can't stay in a relationship. They don't want to risk losing who they care about and going through that. A lot of people don't even want to bring children into this world because, let's be honest, this is a harsh, brutal land we live in. And a lot of people are against it. I think we should, if you want children, Joffrey, in this kingdom, we should have people who actually want to be together to reproduce. I mean, it may not be as what's the word I'm looking for? It may not be as prosperous as if we were just to have every single woman in this land have children, but you'd have a lot more favorable subjects to your cause, people that wouldn't hate you for forcing them into something. You would have more support, if I may say.
Well, I see. Well, here's the issue with, how I say, I don't really necessarily care if I'm a man who's hated, you know? I'm a man just trying to do what's best for the country. Gilly man in the back, please address your dissent.
All I'm saying is
If anybody else here, the Gilly man,
I can't hear from over here, I'm afraid.
yeah, no. Well, just raise your hand if you'd like to say your dissent.
Yeah. Medium.
Yeah. All right, please step forward, Sir Galen.
So, two simple things. One, I hate children. And two, I think that if we're going to have children, we should at least wait until we have all the necessary medical supplies, because giving birth can not only risk the child's life, but also the mother's life, which would lead to less people. So I think maybe giving it a bit of a waiting time should be doing good instead of going at it right now.
Good points. Medical ability not being up to snuff. Take that, life. Fuck you.
I can test that.
Soon, yeah, soon.
I have
Mr. Blue Shirt.
question.
Yeah. Hold on. Please address the court. Raise your hand if you wish to have the floor, and I will get to you.
Mine's not really a disagreement with the proposal. It's more of a concern. Wouldn't the noise that the crying babies bring attract more of the
I didn't catch the question. Wouldn't the lives of the children something?
undead? Wouldn't the cries of the newborns bring more undead to the area?
Potentially, but the men here, I feel, are more than capable of protecting their flock. We've protected each other. We've gone to the points where we can keep a stable life and have a civilization made. You know, here we all are, not being eaten alive by the undead. I think we can handle a child's or two protection. Yes, please address the court.
All right. I have a question. So, let's say a woman gives birth to a baby and it turns out to be a male, what would go through with it?
Males are fine. We still need men in the world. We just need to repopulate, you know? Repopulation is repopulation. Not waste a gestation
I thought you meant
period
just
because it's
repopulating with females, but okay.
No, we need it all. You know, men are dying, women are not around. We'd prefer a woman, you know, but we will not destroy men.
Okay, so I thought there'd be like some sort of euthanization or something.
No, we can't waste our future, I think. Mr. Black Leather, please address the court.
Yeah, I suppose my main concern is that if we start forcing having women to have babies, do you think they're really going to want to stay in the area?
That's a good point. Would you recommend amending the treaty to have all women locked up as well?
No, I'm just saying why don't you just let them choose themselves. I mean, the matter of fact is we've recently had we've had two other factions recently pop up in the area, so it's apparent that there are obviously other settlements outside this our little area.
Well, how long would you give them to choose a mate? Now, we've given them their own time as it is now, and you can see it's not working. It's been 2 years since the outbreak, and it's not working.
My name's Marcus Green.
Can you blame him? Have we really given him something in the world to bring a child into?
Yes, I can blame them. Our population is dwindling, and they are the only way we can increase the population.
Yeah, I'm not disputing the fact that our population's taken a hit, but like I said, you know, we don't exactly know what's happening around the rest of the world. We don't exactly know how many other pockets of survivors are out there.
Well, I understand, but because we do not know, we have to assume we are the only people left alive in the entire world. Yes?
But we've recently had two other factions come out of the little tiny area.
Well, that's fine, but who knows? You know, it's hard to make decisions based on assumptions, you know? We have no information coming in or out, more or less, in the region. If the women think that they are better suited off in the wilderness by themselves, well, maybe it's best they aren't allowed to continue to breed into the gene pool anyway. I honestly don't see I don't see many women running away, yeah? I think a majority of women have a man in sight, and will have no issue bearing a child or three. But that's just me. That's why we're listening to dissent.
And what if they can't have children?
Nigeria. Well, they'll be,
It's just,
they can't have children.
more of a suggestion, you know. Instead of forcing these women, maybe give them incentive, you know. Maybe the kingdom gives them beans or something like this if they agree to bring a child into the world. You know, like 10 cans of beans if you bring baby into the world, and the kingdom makes sure that the baby comes out healthy.
Jesus.
Baby. That's a great idea.
Well, I'm just, if that's the type of woman who would trade 9 months of her life for 10 cans of beans, I do not believe she would be the type of woman who would object to having a child in the first place. But, point taken. You want to start this proclamation out with carrot instead of stick first? Then I invite someone to explain how long we should give someone to find a proper mate. How much time do we give them before we turn this into a forced initiative? Yes, cowboy.
What I was going to say was that if we are going to have women marry one another, and marry men by force or by whatever means possible, we should give them some time per se, and like the man said, maybe even offer a reward. But the time being maybe I don't know, maybe do we have around a month? A month's time to find a good mate and start the process. Somebody they want to be with, somebody they can get a good family started with, somebody they're willing to be with. Give them just about a month.
see. A whole month. Yeah. Man in a dress. Please address the kingdom.
I'd like to state pertaining to the whole baby situation. I believe if a woman isn't willing to repopulate for the greater cause of survival, then they are being selfish, and they should really rethink the priorities a little bit. And that's all I have.
I agree with the man in the dress. South Sigoria, address the court. We'll get to you soon.
As I believe the jester suggested previously, that we make it illegal, perhaps, to kill a pregnant woman, or even maybe harm her, and that should be incentive enough to become pregnant.
I believe that's a good
We
idea.
have to protect the little ones. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Do we have an agreement that any woman who is pregnant is immune from any and all harm, regardless of how stupid she might be being? Put your hands down for talking for the moment. I want a raise of hands if you agree. Immunity for pregnant women.
Can I contest that, Your Grace? Maybe we can hammer the legs a bit, or hammer the feet. Maybe, you see, that's not near the baby. But we can still punish them if they're acting like dicks, aren't you, Grace? Is that okay now? Oh.
All immunity. I think that's a fair amount of the majority here. So, we'll make that a treaty. Pregnant women are not to be attacked. If they are not pregnant, they are not, how you say, free to go. All right, raise your hand if you'd like to speak on this subject. We'll go around once more, and we'll make our final decision. Yes, House Life. Soon, gestures.
Well, the proposal of 1 month may be the very least amount of time that we would need, the bare minimum. As my esteemed Lord mentioned earlier, the medical situation isn't exactly up to snuff to bring new lives into this world, and that's on top of the real threat here. Every man and woman in this room right now is alive because we've all won the genetic lottery and developed a natural immunity to this infection. My research has not yielded any proof to indicate that this would be passed down to our children. It may not be genetic at all, and therefore we might not be repopulating the world at all, even after all this. More research would need to be done.
Have to keep them safe.
I do not believe that is grounds to cancel the experiment. Now, Green Hat, address the kingdom.
My lord, if there are
really
any plans of royal subsidy for making sure that the females have enough to eat or whatever, I would like to make it completely clear that I refuse to pay any taxation if such policies were to be enacted.
Oh, you mean man. You could skin an orange in his pocket, this one.
Let's go. Outside. Security. Let's go. Can you open the door, please? Open the door.
No, apparently we have mongrels outside.
So do you want to try to go kill him, or?
Someone put him down then.
Taking fire for them. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on.
I bet it was a bad idea you kicked out.
Alright, security on me, let's go. Let's fucking deal with this
I believe the men of the mercenaries will have this issue covered. There's no reason to be alarmed, Stiana.
We've sent one of our security men outside. He should assist.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, if there are guards here, you guys can assist. I'd prefer if the nobles stayed. There will be no taxation on the generation of babies, so you do not have to worry about any special taxations placed upon the men of women who have kids or not.
So you can save a pretty penny.
Blue shirts, please address. This will be our final time around to address this subject.
Bit long. Yes. You know how they're immune, the law passed their immunity. What would be said punishment for someone who breaks this law?
Come again, breaks law of what?
What would be the punishment if someone was to break?
Going back inside.
Yes. If there are people are found hurting women who are pregnant, and it is proven, I believe execution is the proper response.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Well, we have no further comments on this subject. I think, Cowboy. Yeah, and then we'll go to you, Jester.
I just wanted to reiterate on the whole idea of maybe waiting a month. The reason being behind this is because, like that was brought up earlier today, when you have a child, there is a possibility.
Close the door.
There's a possibility that the woman can die as well from childbirth. If we don't have the proper medical supplies, we're risking more lives than we are trying to gain. That's why we get a month for the doctors themselves even to gather up the supplies needed to actually give birth to these children, so we can kind of prevent as many lives possible from being taken within the kingdom.
You have 9 months to...
Good point.
Yeah, technically you have 9 months, Mr. Cull.
Yes,
I contest the Cowboy. I say it is now or never. We are living in the ruins, and we will never get enough supplies to save the women. Some people will die in the process, I know, just like they did in the medieval times. Look around you. We are living in medieval times now. So we must be hasty and to, how would I put this, to prolong the kingdom and our race. We must start immediately, regardless of the medical supplies.
Yeah, I agree with the
Yes. The funny man makes a good point.
Yeah.
The thing is, one more thing. We don't have the factories no more. We don't make the medical supplies. Why we have the supplies we have, we might as well just use the supplies we've got and take caution to the wind. Can anyone here run a factory? Can you run a conveyor belt that can make penicillin or anything else? All we have now is morphine and what's that other one? Help me out here. Epigen. Yes, Epigen. Yes. Okay, that's me done. Thank you very much. That's me done.
I'm allergic to penicillin.
So, seeing as we do not have full consent for this proclamation and treaty, will not be worldwide or Zagoria-wide enforced. I recommend, therefore, that we take an amended treaty. The kingdom and the affiliates who agree that immediate installation of women is necessary will wait 1 week. Yes, we will inform the doctor groups that they should expect more children birth rates. The women will have their time to either flee the country or find a mate. After 1 week's time, the people who are associated and allies with me and think that I am doing what is right will start forced marriages. However, that does not mean we require everyone in this room to help me do such things. That doesn't mean you have to like it. We will give you 1 week. We will put flyers and proclamations everywhere to be given as a fair warning to anyone who seems, to get out. And then it begins. Repopulation must begin. House Clown, make it quick.
So, do we have to get this ship blessed by you? we just make the marks on our arms and we'll be good. I'm just saying
Yeah.
for it to be official, you know?
Yeah. Everyone is allowed to have their own
marriages.
mark, you know?
Does it have to be blessed by you, or?
No. You have your own marks that you may give to the women who are married within your cultures. Yeah. All the kingdom will do will stop a woman and ask to see her mark, you know? And we'll keep an eye on those women to see if they are pregnant or not. If we believe that there is a false mark amongst a woman after 1 or 2 months, we do not see any belly growth, well, we will take it upon ourselves to cancel that marriage and deal with it as each case permits. Yeah, South Zagoria Trading Company.
I have a question for House Life. Is there any hospital or medical place that you have claimed where these women could be safe?
The hospital in Zelenogorsk and Severograd both have maternity wards that are fairly up to snuff, but they're in need of sterilization and low on supplies, and I would need to research further. I can't guarantee it, but we obviously do the best we could with what we have.
Okay.
Thank you. The man in the dress, final word, and we will end this session.
Sure. Okay. What happens if the woman actually isn't capable of giving birth?
She will be marked as such. She will be marked as infertile, and she will be left alone. Yes? Good. This session of the court will be adjourned shortly. Court only adjourns once every 2 weeks. Halfway through the end of this next court session, we will announce that we are starting our woman campaign, but we will honor a 1-week grace period for those who find this idea squeamish. Yeah? Declare war on us if you must, if you do not like this idea. But we are going to save the repopulation of South Zagoria, whether you like it or not. We give you 1 week to sort out your women. Thank you all for attending this court session. The treaties here will be enacted and placed on flyers. Hold on. If you have land claims, you must deliver them to my cartographers here at the church, and we will get you on the map. Now, I wish everyone good luck in their wars to come, and should you need assistance, trading, bartering, remember beans, our legal tender now. And if you wish for war, well, there's a few mercenaries outside you can hire. What, cowboy?
I was just going to say that offer that I laid onto the table the other day, he told me to bring up in court, if this would be a good time now.
Yeah, make them real quick, yeah? I asked earlier for this sort of thing, but make it snappy.
Well, it wasn't really a treaty, it was more of an offer, so I decided to wait. As of right now, since we control Lapatino, we plan on opening a gambling ring of sorts, a gambling town, turning it into a place where people can come, get booze, and since we now apparently have a legal currency of beans, you can come gamble them away, see if you can win, you know, poker, blackjack, all sorts of different games. And there's going to be lots of alcohol, so, you know, for all you guys that want to get drunk.
And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Any further questions will be taken privately. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming, ladies who are here. I take my leave.
Hail the king!
Thank you.
Remember,
Everybody,
don't
hail
shoot each
the
other for
king.
another 15 minutes. That's part of the treaty. Excuse me. Thank you.
Mr. Reed,
Yeah,
what?
you're brave.
Yeah, outside, yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so,
I'm okay.
where can I contact you?
This
Contacts on our frequency 112.2.
the
Well,
the
What the living fuck?
the
Why?
where the
Why the fuck would they be
I have
shooting?
no idea. I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
We took
Shall we,
So are you backing for our team now? Are you?
Alright guys, let's go.
Stopped fighting.
got to be the where the
Joffrey
thing
hired
that's happened so
he hired
far.
us bounty hunters for his cause.
Would you like to do?
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's good to have you aboard, Mr. Cowboy. It's good that you've finally come around. Yes.
Yeah.
Just bite your teeth. It's okay.
I know, lad.